People love what other people are passionate about. That's what Mia stated in the captivating La La Land. But can passion always be in harmony with love?
Love and passion, intertwined yet confined. So what you're asking is, can these two really blend seamlessly? Or does one constantly override, or maybe even compromise the other?
Yes, that's the crux of it. So, Evelyn, if you recall the storyline, Mia and Sebastian were both passionate about their dreams, and they fell in love while pursuing them. However, towards the end, their passion seems to...
Let's not spoil the entire plot for our listeners, shall we? But yes, Chloe, I see your point. They do showcase an intriguing conflict between love and ambition. It kind of hits home, doesn't it?
Oh, it does. Because more often than not, there's this uncanny race to fulfill our dreams, to chase our passion. And while we're so engrossed, so consumed in that race, love often...
It seems to slip through the cracks? Or is it more like a deliberate decision, do you think? A conscious choice to let go because it's too much to balance?
I'm not entirely sure. It can be a bit of both, right? At various points in our lives, we're forced to choose. Ambition or love? Which one ultimately wins out? Before we dive into the love story itself, let's discuss some context of where and how it took shape. What does Los Angeles signify in La La Land, Evelyn?
Well, Chloe, if I were to simplify it, I'd say La La Land is a love letter to LA, symbolic representation of dreams growing amidst the quicksands of reality. It's no coincidence that the City of Stars stages this intriguing dance between love and ambition.
Interesting. LA, a city known to be a mixture of aspiration and struggle. It really mirrors the characters' journeys, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Taking a step further, director Damien Chazelle intended it that way. Are you aware, Chloe, of his ambition behind this film?
I'm not. Can you share more about it?
Surely. Damien intended to portray the bittersweet balance between one's dreams and their personal lives. Therefore, the city serves not just as a backdrop, but it resonates with our protagonists' struggles, their highs and lows, much like the city itself.
That's fascinating, Evelyn. It's like the city itself serves as an extended metaphor for the characters' own dilemmas.
Precisely. And I feel no other city could have captured this essence better. La La Land isn't just a mere location, it's the very embodiment of the movie's narrative. It's fascinating how cities often end up imprinting on the narrative of a film, isn't it? Like with La La Land, the entirety of Los Angeles, the aspiring stardom, the glitter and all, it's depicting both the dream and the reality, the glamour and the grit, all at once.
True, but why do you think that's the case, Evelyn? What lends LA this powerful aura?
LA, Chloe, is often called the City of Dreams. It represents a dream that can be both enchanting and ruthless. Countless people move there with glimmers in their eyes, but only a few find their stars. I feel this duality is poignantly portrayed in La La Land.
I see. So is it always like this in other cities as well? What about Paris or Seoul?
Ah, Paris, the city where I studied culinary arts. Every nook and corner exudes romance. It's like walking on the pages of a classic love story. On the other hand, Seoul, where both of us currently live, brims with vibrancy, echoing a symphony of modern mixed with traditional, just like a K-pop song.
Interesting comparison. So in essence, each city has its own unique influences on lives and love stories?
Absolutely. Just like a cocktail's flavor is influenced by its ingredients, a story is impacted by its setting. From the castles of Paris to the skyscrapers of Seoul and the boulevards of LA, each city contributes uniquely to the narrative's flavor.
Evelyn, dwelling more into the heart of the film, how would you position La La Land amongst other Hollywood romances?
Well, Chloe, conventional romances often end with the couple living happily ever after, don't they? But what sets La La Land apart is its delicate dance between reality and fantasy, dream and success. I think it's humanity at its rawest. It oozes reality of dreams and love in a most poetic way.
Indeed, love is not always rosy. Struggles, sacrifices are part and parcel of it, just like our dreams. The intertwining of these elements in the film makes it stand out, don't you think so?
Absolutely. It's that complex synergy between love and ambition that sets La La Land apart from most contemporary romances. It's a story that doesn't shy away from the harsh realities of life and love. It's bittersweet and beautiful, just like real life.
And that's what makes it so poignant. Love is never black and white, and the film really digs deep into those gray areas, displaying a level of maturity and realism often unseen in the genre.
So true, Chloe. The unique approach towards a love story with the undertone of sadness right till the end gives it a sharp edge. The aspiration, the struggle, the success, and the hardship, there's a sense of truth it resonates, unlike any other Hollywood romance.
All right. Deciphering the plot of this mesmerizing production, La La Land tells the tale of two dream chasers, right? Mia, an aspiring actress working in a coffee shop, and Sebastian, an ambitious jazz musician struggling to keep his passion alive in a reality that isn't very accommodating of it. It all begins with a chance encounter in the bustling, traffic-laden streets of Los Angeles.
Yes, a city that in itself is a character, embodying the magic of dreams while simultaneously being a ruthless reality check. Now, throughout the plot, the audience is treated with moments of grandeur painted in vivid colors.
The vibrance is truly a sight, isn't it? City of stars, after all. But it's not just the cinematography that stands out. There are these moments, Evelyn, where the film uses symbolism for deeper narrative layers.
You're right. Take the contrast between day and night, for instance. They reflect the duality of reality and fantasy. Daylight brings with it harsh truths, while nightfall inspires dreamy sequences, beautifully orchestrated musical numbers, and idyllic love.
Yes, and if you remember, the planetarium scene was brilliant for this. The dreamscape where Mia and Sebastian waltz in the stars, literally elevating above the material world. And the vivid usage of colors, don't you think they had meanings too?
Oh, definitely. The color palette is vibrant and heavily symbolic. Notably, shades of blue represent melancholy and red portrays passion. Then there's the repeating use of green. It's the hue of Mia's car and the cafe she works at. It seems like a symbol for growth and ambition.
Ah, I see. Never really thought about it that way. Brilliant observation. On another note, I wish I could get the deeper meaning behind the messengers, though. You remember, the jazz band Sebastian reluctantly joins for a steady paycheck. Do you think it had some symbolism too?
In my opinion, the messengers symbolize compromise. Sebastian joins them, diluting his original artistic vision to align with mainstream tastes. It's sort of like selling out, don't you think? A beacon of the dilemma artists often face. You know, Chloe, making a cocktail is a remarkable artistry, just like how Damien Chazelle has crafted La La Land. It's a delicate balance of ingredients, where reality is your base spirit, dreams, your modifiers, bringing in sweetness or sourness, love is your bitters, adding complexity, and ambition is that piece of garnish, providing aroma and aesthetics.
That's quite a unique analogy, Evelyn. But how do you achieve balance in a cocktail?
Ah, the secret lies in understanding your ingredients, knowing how much of what brings perfection. But nonetheless, it's always a trial and error, my dear. Just as Sebastian and Mia, remember how they struggled in their personal lives to find the equilibrium between their passion for art and the reality of survival?
True. In fact, their conflicts mirrored their personal realities, represented by their dream sequences that were almost mystical. So, in your analogy, can I say that they tried different combinations, added and subtracted elements to find the perfect mix of ambition and love?
Exactly, Chloe. They adjusted the measures, tried different blends. Sometimes the dreams overpowered reality, love overpowered ambition, and at times, vice versa. Just like how a mixologist is never satisfied until they hit that spot with the perfect mix, so are the characters of La La Land, constantly navigating through the blend of dreams and reality, love and ambition, before settling for what felt right for them, even if the outcome wasn't the expected perfect mix.
I see. So the perfect mix, the perfect balance between dreams and reality, love and ambition, like in a cocktail, isn't necessarily achieving all at once, but what seems to be right for the one mixing it. That's a very enlightening comparison, Evelyn. Sebastian and Mia, the cornerstone of La La Land, both ambitious in their respective artistic pursuits, yet tangled in the mundane realities. Do you think, Evelyn, that their transformation through the narrative was reflective of the harsh realism we face in our personal endeavors?
I do, Chloe. The ambitions of Sebastian playing pure traditional jazz, and Mia becoming a successful actress, tangled within the fabric of their love story, is such a universal phenomenon, regardless of the profession. The dilemma of compromising dreams for the sake of present realities, or even love, is something many of us relate to.
Yes, their initial dreams were so grand, weren't they? A quintessential part of their character. But as they faced the music of reality and confronted hurdles on their paths, the dreams seemed to get smaller and more personalized.
What's interesting to note here is that, just as audience, even both of them start off singularly focused on their careers, quite indifferent to love. But as they intertwine, falling in love, they unknowingly begin to compromise, be it Seb taking up a commercially successful gig, or Mia demotivating herself post-continuous rejections. Love seems to redirect their focus.
That's true. But don't you think, depending on individual perspective, some might see their compromise as a form of personal growth? After all, isn't growth often about realizing and accepting the limits of our dreams while shaping them according to our personal realities?
Right you are, Chloe. But while they compromised, realizing their limits towards the end, they do eventually reach their dreams. Not in the exact grandeur they initially envisioned, but in a more personal, more intimate manner. There's a certain beautiful melancholy to it.
Yes, bittersweet fits so perfectly here. Despite not ending up together, their love story did not end in tragedy. Instead, just as in real life, they carry a piece of one another with them, the influence evident in their achieved dreams. So, I guess the journey towards ambition isn't always a clear, straight path. Sebastian and Mia's personal journeys in La La Land, the ambitions, the dreams, the love, and the dilemma of their intertwining, it hits so close to home, doesn't it, Evelyn?
Absolutely, Chloe. Their battles with aspiration and compromise, reality and passion, it's something we all can relate to. How about you, Chloe? Can you share a bit of your own journey?
Certainly, Evelyn. I moved to Seoul at 20, leaving behind my family, my friends, everything familiar to me. I started my training to become a K-pop artist. It was a dream. It still is. But the reality is different. The rigorous schedules, the high expectations, always the urge to stand out, to be the best, to not fail. It can be quite overwhelming at times.
And does that intense pressure ever make you reconsider your dream?
It does, Evelyn. It definitely does. There are times when I question my path, my decisions, but then I remember the passion, the love for what I do, and it somehow drives me forward. Interestingly, the portrayal of Mia and Sebastian's rocky journey kind of echoed these feelings and struggles I go through.
How about love, Chloe? Does love have a role to play in your journey?
Absolutely, Evelyn. Love, in all its forms, love for dance, love from my family, love from my friends, it plays a significant role in every step I take. It's just like Sebastian's love for jazz or Mia's love for acting. It's a fierce, guiding force. And much like them, I've learned love often demands sacrifice. Do compromises have to be made? Absolutely. But it's never easy deciding what to give up. It's an ongoing battle, but I believe it's a journey of growth, acceptance, resilience, and most importantly, it's about staying true to oneself.
That's a beautiful perspective, Chloe, and I am sure many of our listeners find solace in your experience. We all, like Mia and Sebastian, are on a journey, figuring out love, dreams, passion, and the often overlap they create. Each experience, each sacrifice, each step forward or backward is a part of the journey towards growth.
Evelyn, thinking about our journeys, Mia and Sebastian's story rings a bell, doesn't it? For me, and perhaps for many of our listeners, reaching our dreams while maintaining the love we cherish is a tricky balance.
It's hard, isn't it? We see instances of this struggle in La La Land through both characters and their trade-off between love and ambition. But really, is it a universal dilemma or exclusive to particular industries or dreams?
From my perspective, being in the entertainment world, things can be particularly intense. Love sometimes takes a backseat in the race of mass trainees, challenging auditions, preparation to stand out. It isn't that you choose between love and ambition. The system somehow decides that for you.
Interesting point, Chloe. But does ambition necessitate the sacrifice of love? Does love need to be a hurdle? And is that accurately portrayed in the film?
Depends on your perception of love, doesn't it? In La La Land, I don't think love is portrayed as something necessarily distracting or a hindrance. Instead, it's a beautiful catalyst, an aspect that pushes you towards your dream, shapes you, gives you experiences. Yet, it demands its share of sacrifices you can't merely skim through.
And about career? Could you intrinsically love your work and people simultaneously? As a bartender, a part of hospitality, fostering connections falls under my role. Work and love walk hand in hand.
Evelyn, isn't that wonderful? For some, work might end up becoming love. In my case, dance is certainly love, but managing both might get tough at times. As depicted in the film too, love is unstable, beautiful, but disruptive, and can possibly skew your focus from aspirations.
A pivotal paradox indeed. Dancing between love and ambition, much like Mia and Sebastian, is something many of us can resonate with. I wonder, do you think either comes out victorious in the end, or do they peacefully coexist?
That's something we individually must decipher, isn't it? The movie leaves it ambiguous, open to interpretation. I believe it's really about coming to terms with one's choices, embracing them, and moving forward. Perhaps that's the real balance.
That whirlwind of dancing between love and ambition mirroring ours, isn't it, Chloe? Can we say that La La Land portrays this most delicate dance correctly?
I believe so, Evelyn. Theoretically, love shouldn't be an obstacle towards ambition. They should be complementary, but oftentimes it's not as simple as that.
Just like how a perfect cocktail needs the right balance, so does life. But not every cocktail is meant to be sipped patiently. Some are meant to burn down your throat, possibly kicking in with a delayed sweetness.
Frankly, I got the vibe from Sebastian. He was consumed by his ambition to the extent it hindered his love. Mia, on the other hand, was caught in the crossfire. It makes you question, can we escape love for the sake of ambition without facing its repercussions?
That's one interpretation. But suppose I introduce a rather emotional mix to this discussion. If we see love as fulfilling, how do you think that changes things? After all, love itself can give you a sense of accomplishment.
Very insightful, Evelyn. Love can indeed be fulfilling in its own way, sometimes surmounting the exhilaration ambition provides. But then again, if that love takes you away from what you love doing, there comes the real challenge. Surely, even the movie exhibits such instances.
Certainly it does. Viewers can find numerous instances in La La Land where love seems to stagger ambition. However, I don't think the movie portrays love as a hurdle, but more like a companion that you sometimes have to bid farewell to as you ascend towards your dreams.
Rather than a hurdle, I would say it's a distraction, a beautiful one, that at times shakes you from your path. Mia and Sebastian's story in La La Land is a painful reminder of how some love stories remain incomplete because of unfulfilled dreams or ambitions.
Debate it all we want. Balancing love and ambition is and always will be a personal journey. We might find our answer, or we might not. But at the end of the day, it is our experiences that shape us. Just like Mia and Sebastian, their love and ambition defined them. You see it in their eyes, their smiles, their tears.
That's exactly it. Love or ambition, Mia or Sebastian, K-pop or a cozy family life. In the end, it's about coming out stronger, knowing you dared to dream, you loved, and you lived. Just like in real life, or real, there's worry, fear, joy, and most of all, a story worth telling.
Each frame in La La Land is like a canvas painted with the hues of love and ambition. It's a visual tour de force.
Yes, the aesthetics are extraordinary. From the opening sequence, the film transports you to this dreamlike canvas. Was there a particular aspect that caught your eye?
For me, it was definitely the movie's color palette, Chloe. Did you notice they used primary colors in their scenes?
That's an astute observation, Evelyn. Now that you've mentioned it, I do remember Mia's dresses and how they changed with her transition.
Exactly. And it's not merely a visual treat. The colors, blue, red, yellow, they all symbolize something. Blue when things are sad or difficult, red for passionate love, and yellow for happiness. It's as if we're looking at their emotions through a kaleidoscope.
That reminds me, Evelyn, what are your thoughts on the extensive use of music in the narrative?
Great question, Chloe. Just like in the world of mixology, where the right mix of ingredients creates the perfect drink, Music in this film was the essential ingredient, setting the tone for the characters' emotions and building tension when needed.
It's as if music was their unspoken language of love, right? Each musical sequence told a story, evoking emotions without saying a word.
Truly, Chloe. The music was their heartbeat, their love, their ambition. Just like the film's aesthetics, the musical sequences both harmonized and contrasted with their love story, shaping a narrative that was as enchanting as it was heartrending.
The intricate blend of music to narrative in La La Land is just fascinating, isn't it?
Absolutely, Chloe. It's like jazz, where each note carries an emotion, creating a symphony.
Jazz, especially in this film, becomes a synonym for passion and pursuit of dreams, an escape from harsh reality.
Interesting. How do you think that compares to the use of music in K-pop?
That's an interesting question. You know how in K-pop, music is not just about conveying emotions, but it plays a significant role in synchronizing the sharp, powerful dance movements, right? Each beat correlates to a dance move, creating a visual spectacle. So, it serves dual roles, driving the narrative and serving as a backdrop for the choreography.
That's an intriguing perspective, Chloe. So you're implying that the artistic outcomes are shaped by cultural contexts?
Exactly, Evelyn. In La La Land, jazz aligns with the theme of love and ambition. It represents an artistic struggle, a dream that both characters dearly hold on to. But in contrast to K-pop, jazz is more free-flowing, impulsive. It's all about improvisation and spontaneity, while K-pop is meticulously choreographed, symbolizing the synchrony and precision that defines the genre.
It's fascinating how subtly music encapsulates the essence of a narrative, isn't it?
Indeed. Whether it's jazz setting the tone for La La Land or K-pop driving visual spectacles, it all comes down to how harmoniously the music blends into the narrative. The film's climax, Evelyn, it's indescribable.
Truly. It's unconventional, the way Sebastian and Mia envision the life they might have led if they chose love over ambition. It's poignant and gut-wrenching.
Yes, it's like an alternative universe playing out in Sebastian's mind, isn't it? A what-if moment in full display.
It's also fascinating how the visual narration, full of shine and sparkle, contrasts with the reality of their situation, the dull, fact-centric present.
But Evelyn, do you think they regret their past choices?
Maybe, Chloe. They are human after all. But more than regret, I believe it's a reflection of their shared past and what could have been.
I have a slightly different perspective. I sense relief in their separate futures. They each achieved their dreams individually, and perhaps that is what they ultimately wanted.
Could be, Chloe. Their dreams were a crucial part of who they were, that final smile they share. It exudes understanding, acceptance, perhaps a closure.
It's melancholic, yet relieving in a way, isn't it? Their love story may not have lasted, but their dreams did. That's one powerful message for struggling artists out there. Dreams and passion do matter. You know, Evelyn, I've been thinking about how La La Land has affected society. Like, does it make people more understanding of the struggle for dreams and love?
It's an interesting question, Chloe. The film certainly sparked a lot of conversations, didn't it? Especially about the sometimes harsh reality of chasing dreams. It was a stark contrast to the fairy tale narratives Hollywood churns out regularly.
Absolutely. And it's not just about the narrative. The aesthetics, from the vibrant colors to the melodic jazz music, all contributed to a unique cinematic experience. It's no surprise that it received such critical acclaim.
Very true, Chloe. The film has also had a significant impact on the audience. I mean, how many people left the theaters questioning their own choices of ambition over love?
Or even the reverse, considering whether they've given up on their dreams for the sake of love. The movie, in a way, encourages its audience to ponder these life-altering decisions.
And that's the beauty of La La Land, isn't it? It doesn't provide clear-cut answers, but opens up a space for dialogue and introspection among the viewers.
Looking back, I think we all saw a bit of ourselves in Mia and Seb, struggling between love and career. I believe that's why the film struck a chord with so many.
The impact was indeed monumental, Chloe. It's fascinating how the film not only reshaped the audience's perception of love and ambition, but also prompted Hollywood to rethink the standard narratives.
Our whole journey through La La Land has been quite insightful, hasn't it, Evelyn?
Oh, absolutely, Chloe. Structuring it all indeed offered an exciting understanding of the film and its impact.
I feel there's a significant influence of La La Land on societal viewpoints. What were your initial thoughts when you first saw the movie?
I was genuinely moved, Chloe. It felt like the movie was a beautiful, melancholic echo of the harsh struggles to fulfill dreams. It hit a bit too close to home and made me reassess my choices regarding love and career.
That's quite a profound impact. I had a similar response. I connected with the character's hardships. It struck a chord as an aspiring artist myself.
Exactly, Chloe. And I guess that's what made the film such a gem. It allowed its audience to relate on a deeply personal level. But you know what? I'm interested to know what our listeners thought about the movie. Don't you think it would be great to hear their perspectives as well?
Indeed. Our listeners, do share your unique viewpoints and how La La Land has influenced your perspective of love and ambition. It's always a treat to hear diverse opinions. This movie has left me with a bit of an emotional hangover. How about you, Evelyn?
It most certainly has, Chloe. The movie's heart-rending climax has left a lasting impact, and there were moments that were truly memorable, don't you agree? You said it, Chloe. And it is this blend of unforgettable moments and nuanced themes that make La La Land such a masterpiece.